Hello, hello, my lovely friends on the other side of the screen. Traders and non traders. Not sure if we have non traders out there. This is a trading channel. But if you are a non trader, then welcome as well. And you just might get converted to trading if you're not. All right. How are you doing? A new week, new fun. Back to trading after some volatility last week. We had some great volatility. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to necessarily catch that volatility last week, but here we are. Great moves, and we are gapping up in all markets. I'm gonna open the chart soon and have a pre-market preparation for us today, and we'll see what we come up with today. But if you're listening, let me know how your weekend went. Just let me know in chat how's everything going. How was your weekend? Everything great? Question mark. All right. I'll go ahead and open my chat here on another screen so I can stay in touch with my viewers, which is amazing and quite important, I believe, in streaming. All right. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. So here we have our beloved TPO, and this is how I do my pre-market preparation. If you have any questions about what is a TPO or what's going on my screen, never be scared to ask a question. That's how you learn. Ask questions and you will learn. There is no bad questions. So this is based on a daily profile. So I see the overnight profile and I see daily profiles. So here is how the weekend is looking like. And this is how trading bars spent their time on the weekend. And we have a very, what would you call it? Um, I guess you could call it a double distribution, but very close to something I would call balance as well. And yeah, we are very bullish. You know, we on Friday we rejected lower prices and closed above value. We had a B-shaped profile. A very bullish day on Friday, and then the weekend is continuing that bullishness to the upside, and we are gapping up. So very bullish. We also have some single prints here above. I'll just have a look if these single prints are from the overnight sessions. Yes, they are. So they are not as important. And then we have also old previous closes that are looking to get filled. We also have a poor high here from an RTY session that is a magnet. So as someone who has a strategy that's looking for a short trade today, I'm not gonna take a short trade. That's for sure. There is too many magnets to the upside, and 1 plus 1 is 2. We see a very bullish B profile close at the highs, and then the overnight session is continuing with the trend. So if I would look for something, I would look for a gap and go and see these magnets get filled from the open. So let's make some type of plan. Let's make some type of plan here. And this is what every professional trader should do. You should create a pre-market plan. You should have your own separate strategy from the pre-market plan, yes. But the magic happens when you combine the two. And you know where you are gonna use your strategy at this specific day. Or if there's something that's not agreeing with your strategy, like the big picture is not agreeing, I'd rather not fight the magnets and the big picture and force my strategy if it doesn't seem to be that great, right? This is what a professional trader always does. I know for a fact that every professional trader who do this for a living will do a pre-market plan of some sort. Everyone has their own pre-market plan and different ways of doing it, but everyone prepares before the session. And this is what you should do as well. So, today, very possible that we open down, find buyers, and we run this specific level here, which is a poor low, and then we have a unfilled gap here as well. Take these two levels. I have to see back if we had a... Yes, we do. Let's get it back there, like that. That's the only negative about it. And up. And then maybe we come down a little bit. But I think it's fairly high probability that we have a trend day today to the upside. I think there's a high probability for it, but it always comes down to the buts. But. And the but is when everyone thinks the same. You know, we might get a curveball in there. So what if we got a curveball? But what would it look like? Well, we would move up and reject into the single prints. Because we do have a magnet below as well. We have single prints and the previous close. This is the second play. So let's actually, my mistake, I should use different colors for this. So play one, pull back, and go up, reject a little bit, and stay here at the highs. This is play one, which is gap and go. Play two, open up, reject, take the previous close and the single prints, and find some type of balance here in these areas. Two scenarios for today. But my strategy allows me to take a short trade here. Or, well, in this case it wouldn't, because it's against my rules, because the gap is too big, and we are certainly also trading the worst weekday for my strategy, which is a Monday. So, guess what? I'm not taking a trade on ES today. No trade on ES. I already know it. I make the scenario so you have an idea of what could happen today, but for me specifically, I have no edge in this specific day. And that's also something you will see professionals doing. They don't trade every day, they trade the days that they have edge in. And I don't have edge in every day. I probably have edge in 3 out of 5 days a week. Or 2, you know? It totally depends on the week, but most of the time I'm at least losing out on 2 or 3 trading days a week. Because I know, hey, this market, this day doesn't have edge. And that's totally fine. I'm not here to trade, I'm here to make money. And that's a big difference. YM. Well, won't you look at that? YM is presenting the same story for us today. Pull back, find buyers into a old previous close that's, I believe, unfilled. That's unfilled. And then pull back, maybe even to the singles, or continue upwards. That's possible too. Either of these scenarios. This is scenario 1. I guess you could call this 1.1 and 1.2. Or then we could get a move up, rejection, into the singles, and then balance. 2 scenarios, a little bit messy to draw this, because here the 2 scenarios are kind of intervening with each other. They are kind of similar in a way, but you could get different scenarios of the different plan. But pretty simple and straightforward. But we are for sure looking for a bullish move today. And I'll be hanging around and I'll be helping you guys with trading today, because I have no trades to take. So it will be focused on more educational content, and I'll see if we can get some guests here, maybe a trading friend or someone who's available, could join the stream and show off some of their stuff. This is something I'm thinking about, because a lot of the time I won't get trades, I'm still gonna be here on stream because I think it's nice to be consistent, and it's nice to do a plan and follow what the market is doing, even if you're not gonna get a trade. But I would want to give more value, and that's what I'm still focusing on. I'm also planning on doing some short form content and hopefully some trading guides as well, just to help people get started. Um, but we'll see to what extent I will take those things. Right now, I'm not really looking for more students. Maybe if I find a perfect student, I might take a student. But right now, I'm pretty happy with the lineup I've got right now. So maybe if a special person comes along, I might take someone. But right now, super happy what I've got. Uh, let's see. Kinda the same, but we already took these, right? Or did we? It's so close. I have to use my. No, we didn't. Okay. Move up, down, singles, and potentially singles. Something like this. That's my theory number 1. And theory number 2 is a move down, find buyers, and breakout. 2 theories. All the markets have pretty much the same story going on today. We will have a huge gap and go type of setup from the opening, or then we will deviate back to single print support structure and take out the previous close and leave still some magnets above. But I think today is a perfect day for, I might sneeze here, for us to take these levels. Then from that point onward, I would really start wondering, is this gonna move to a downwards trend again, or are we gonna start, are we looking to make more higher highs again in the market? So I'm still, a little bit of a question mark on the big picture. Are we gonna continue the uptrend or not? For sure, volatility is usually a bad sign for bullish trends in general, and like when you see the volatility is rising, that usually also brings me these danger signs of, okay, we might be at some specific high here. Maybe the uptrend is over, but then again, it could be just a pullback, and we could easily continue. I'm not a swing trader, so I have no clue, honestly. But yeah, now we're just gonna open our beloved charts here, and we have nothing to do, so we're just gonna analyze charts. If there's someone who has any idea of what they would want to see on the stream, or if they want to be a part of the stream, if they want me to look and review their market or trades, I'm totally up for that, right? Totally happy to do that. You just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna review ES, listen to some classical music for a while, and then call it a session here. But we still have some time here, and we're not gonna call it quits yet. We're gonna see what the market does today, even if we're not gonna get any trades. Looks like there is no news today either. It's gonna be or there is news, but no major news. I don't really care about like some very, 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 very minor news like 3-month bill auction or 6-month bill auction or whatever, um, auctions or reports we have today. Really, no point, right? Really, no point. I don't really care about that too much. But yeah, as a mean reversion trader, this is a day where I don't really want to haggle with the market. I don't really care. We are gapping up. We are looking super strong. Looks like the pullback might be over. I'm not gonna be the one to fight the market here. Obviously, we could also mean revert, but today is not the day to guess, right? I'm not here to guess. I'm here to make money. And today is not a day where, I'm looking to gamble on a specific idea or anything. All my trades are based on statistical edges, and I want to see a statistical edge. That's what differentiates me from, you know, a gambler. Look at that. YM and RTH. I mean, YM and ES having. And RTY having that pullback and push gap and go type of opening here. And now the question is, if we can break this overnight high, I think it's rubber bands are open and we are ready to rumble to the upside. Ready to rumble to the upside. Indeed, indeed. Indeed. Getting some type of reaction here at the overnight highs. We had a stop run, and now it's very interesting to see if we move back, and go down, or if we boom, bam, bam. Both are very possible, but if the gap and go scenario is gonna happen here, then we should break out of this overnight high range. But the overnight stat is already taken. So we already got that out of the way. Today not being very active in a way where there's not a lot of news, not any big news and events on the table. So we might have to wait and see a little bit here if there's a little bit of a dip in volatility. And if we do have a little dip in volatility, I think that's a good thing for bullish people, at least those people who are looking long term to the upside. We didn't quite retest the opening print yet. I think that's also quite usual in gap and go situations where you retest the opening print and then you go. But yeah, I like how it's holding above the 9 EMA here so far, and this doesn't look like a very clean high either. So I feel like there is some strength to this. Let's look at the PNF chart. Let's look at some order flow here, because order flow will give us a magnifying glass into the market, which is amazing. And here, if we look at the magnifying glass, you can see that even if price is going down, we had positive delta. So there are a lot of buyers here, and now we just have to prove that the buyers are stronger than the sellers. And I feel like if we manage to break this overnight high, there's a very good possibility we will find a good trend to the upside. But time will tell. Time will tell. Sometimes opening Discord is quite dangerous. You don't want that to be on the screen. There we go. Still a huge battle here, but for me it looks like it's for sure favored to the upside. If I would choose here, we probably break out of this range. And we fly away and continue the uptrend. Usually I like fading these big gaps, but today I'm seeing so much bullishness overall in the market. And we have some magnets above. I don't think it makes sense to short when we are so close to the magnets above. We are very close to the first previous close here at... Oh, we're looking at RTY, well, the same stories there. I believe we are like few ticks away from the previous close from November 5th, and then we have another one from November 3rd. And we have a poor high here, which is a magnet. We have a magnet 1. Let's count all the magnets today. We have a magnet here, magnet 1, magnet 2, magnet 3, magnet 4. We have 4 magnets above. Like, I don't want to fight these magnets. Nah, that's not what your boy here is doing. And here we go. We break out from the overnight high. And we have a big buyer here. Very important that this buyer doesn't get stuck at this specific level. But still looking decent. I do believe people want to bring the market down because we have a buyer here getting stuck a little bit if the market would move against him. But we do have some buyers here to back it up for now. But yeah, as I already theorized, it's very possible that we will move to the upside here. Just too many magnets to not go long here. But I'm not gonna do that. For me, it's a gamble. I don't have any repeatable statistical edge in it. This is just analysis. I'm just analyzing based on my thousands of hours looking at charts. But it's not something I'm comfortable putting money on. But yeah, we're breaking out here. Breaking out here. Remember, we are of course streaming every day, tomorrow as well. Same time, 15 minutes before the market opens. These types of streams are very hard to do for me because I don't have any trades, right? And trading is per se not the most entertaining thing to watch. Of course, if you're an influencer trader who takes a lot of trades, then it might be very good for your dopamine. But watching me, who doesn't take a lot of trades and waits for his strategy like a saint, not always very entertaining. And the thing and the struggle I have is to trying to make this stream entertaining without necessarily me having to take a lot of trades. So I'm trying to get people on the stream. I'm still planning that. It's probably not gonna happen this week yet, but we are gonna see if the next few weeks we can get someone here on stream and or do something else. Maybe coach people live. I might take some of my clients on the stream. We'll have a look, but for now it's still a little bit open, up in the air. Up in the air. Well, yeah, looking like a Gap and go type of situation here. We're just flying, flying high, up in the sky. Here we go. There we go. We are flying. Finished my Dr. Pepper. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I'll probably take the stream 20 more minutes. Gonna have it a little bit shorter today because there's no setup, and obviously there's really no content plan either. But hopefully the market will give us some opportunities, so we will have a little bit longer streams with more insights and analysis. For sure, people who watch the pre-market section of my stream will get value. As you can already see here, I kind of predicted the gap and go type of move from the open. So, there's some valuable analysis there to learn from. I don't want people to copy my analysis either, but I want people to learn how to do analysis and to get a vision of how the market could do things based on, looking at these magnets. Because I believe the market is full of magnets, and, the side that has more magnets, or if the magnets are on the side of the buyers or the sellers, then it's supporting that theory, and it could come true. RTY is very interesting because it's trading quite differently from our beloved other markets. RTY tested the overnight high to the tick, and now it started to sell off. Whereas ES and I believe YM2, I have it on my other screen, is doing pretty much the same thing. Now we're having a retest here of this support level, previously a resistance level. But ES is for sure the strongest out of these all markets today. For now, at least. There's a lot of time to change. Volume is still not very high, so that's in favor of the trend going upwards, right? At least in my professional opinion. Usually when you see lower volume, it's in favor of the trend. And once you start seeing huge, big volume spikes with FOMO bars, then it's probably a good time to start taking profits. Capitulation is the term I was looking for. And we are flying. A big seller here on ES as well. Let's look at the PNF chart and what the delta is doing. Big seller, but still very, 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 very positive delta, which is steadily rising. So I wouldn't be very concerned for our beloved buyers here. Looking like a clean retest of the RTH VWAP on YM as well. Now struggling to get above the 9 EMA, and there we go. We get a huge selling order on ES. RTY, yeah, it was a seller as well, but not as big as ES. ES Getting a 1,000 lot order here at the highs. You can see this big order here at the highs. And this is where I would start getting a little bit scared if I'm running along, because usually when you start seeing increase in volume, that's not great for a trend. But we'll still see here what is going on, and if this is the case. But it looks like the big seller came in and like nothing happened. Pretty much nothing happened, and we just continued to the upside. But I want to see what type of follow-up we have here, because it's not over yet. 607 positive delta on a bar that's moving downwards. A down rotation with 607 positive delta. Very interesting. But we still have the most of the levels that we were looking for intact. We took this previous close already. The next level is this poor high here. Poor high here. This is a magnet for sure. Then we have another magnet here and another magnet here. So we still have 3 upside magnets left. And as I said, my plan was a gap and go. So a full-on trend from the opening. And I believe that's very, very possible here. So we still have a lot of levels on the upside. But if I was a scalper, yeah, this would be like a level where I would probably start to fade away from my profits. But if I'm trading this big move, I wouldn't be too scared. I would still hold. And there we go. Continuing the move to the upside. Do we have any chatters in chat today? How did your weekend go? Do you have any plans today for your trades? Any setups that you're looking for, or any setups that you already took? Let me know how trading is going. Myself, I went to a birthday party on the weekend. I had a small flu as well. A little. I'm not sure if that's my cat allergy or if I was a little bit cold, but now I'm feeling much better when I got to streaming. I was a little bit tired before the stream as well, but now I'm feeling really great. But yeah, I had a birthday party, had some meetings on the weekend. Nothing special really. Hopefully you had a wonderful time and you are charged up for the week. I could have a look at our beautiful news this week. What news do we have? We have nothing today, or nothing major today. DAX news on tomorrow at 12 o'clock my time. Yeah, if you trade DAX, that's good to know. But I think most of people trade the US session here, from my viewers at least. On Wednesday, we have some Fed speeches, but nothing crazy. Thursday, CPI, that's gonna be quite huge. And jobless claims, quite big as well. So, yeah, inflation, for sure, Thursday is gonna be a quite huge day. Then we have Friday. Friday having PPI. So yeah, very end of week heavy news. So we don't really have anything huge planned up here today, or the start of the week, which I personally don't dislike too much. Now we have a big buyer here as well, and we are seeing a little bit of a pullback here, but I don't see anything out of the ordinary, to be honest. Creating a P-shaped profile for now. If we had a pullback, I would maybe look for a buy here or at this level. I think this level is the greatest of them all. Like if you get a pullback here, you kind of get the retest of the breakout, and it's a low volume node to the upside. So this would be a level where I would start looking for some buying, and we come in and we touch this level. Now I would be interested to see here if we can get some type of reaction. We did react to this volume here as well. You can see, as I said, higher volume is usually a danger zone for trends, and then we pretty much got a turn quite fast after. But I like this level. If I was scalping here, I would 100% look for some type of turn, but I am not. So we're just gonna let it go. Nine minutes of trading left for me specifically. Then I'll start calling it a session. Maybe look at the markets a little bit myself. And yeah, do some other things. As today is gonna be a very slow day for me as a trader. Then tomorrow, hopefully more action, and hopefully a gap setup that we can actually execute upon. Usually watching also what happens on a Monday is quite valuable for the rest of the week, because coming into Monday things are still unclear, and usually people like to go off the last week's value or the two last days or Friday's value, but it's not as accurate in my opinion. So I just like, sometimes on Monday, if things are a little bit unclear, I like to just see what happens. Because Monday is the first day where you get structure, and then usually by Wednesday, Thursday, you have very clear value on the week, and then you can start playing the value, edges of value if you want as well, if you're a mean reversion trader. But usually the start of the week is the hardest, because that's when you have the least knowledge of what's going to happen this week. You don't really know what people are thinking about in the weekends, because there is no trading in the weekend. Or at least major trading on Sunday. Yes, you can trade on Sunday, but most don't. We're talking about some proper liquidity. And here we go. We are having the retest of the overnight high. And we have a seller here who's a little bit bigger seller who was trying to push it, but there's no reaction. And this seller might get stuck here. So if now this seller gets stuck here and we close above RTH VWAP, somewhere here, like this would be a classic long trade. And you would probably get a nice extension to somewhere here at least. I think the risk reward that specific trade would be amazing. That's the only thing I'm seeing right now. But for now, I wouldn't blindly, enter into this pullback, because there's still some sellers involved, right? You don't want to enter against a falling knife. You have to wait for the market to turn and then go up with the momentum, go with the flow. Obviously, as I already said, or rules probe how do you say it? Or rules ban me from pretty much trading today, specifically. But if I was looking for a scalp, I would look for a pullback. here. And then now I would want to see it close above, put my stop here, and I would probably target what did we have on the TPO? What did we have on the TPO? I would target at least this 4 high here, so 8.5. That would be a humongous move, by the way. Do we even have volatility for that? That would be like a like 40-point move. But yeah, at least like an extension to somewhere here. Let's look at the PNF chart here. You can see how much negative delta we had here. And a big seller got caught there, and now this seller is just done for. And yeah, someone smaller, or well, you can say smaller, still a pretty big order, got stuck here at this bar, and now it's moving away from him or her. So I would look for the move to the upside, but it's retesting RTH VWAP. Put the PNF chart. Still showing some negative delta, but it's getting catched very well. And you can see how buyers were coming in right there. We were only almost at negative 100 delta, and now we just turned it to plus 81. So buyers catch that move. There's for sure both sides still going at it here. But yeah, if I were to scalp this trade, I would specifically do this. But as I said, I'm banned from taking trades today, as it's against my rules this specific day. We are gapping up. It's a very bullish day. We have a lot of bullish magnets, but I'm specifically a mean reversion trader, and I like to fade value. So for me, there's no bigger play here because it's too conflicting. We have, some magnets upside, but I'm a mean reversion trader, and I would look at targets to the downside today. And there's really, too much confliction, and I think it's too bullish for me to specifically take a trade with my bias. But I'm still talking about the plays that I think are gonna, unfold, and you can get some value from my analysis. I've used thousands and thousands of hours, in front of the charts, so sometimes my gut feelings might be correct. And, my pre-market analysis, as I already said, very likely to just gap and go. So like gap up, a small pullback. So we gapped up a small pullback, and then we would, take these magnets above. RTY is very different from the other markets today. If we look at it, it's going down. The other markets broke the overnight high, held there very clean. RTY is looking very weak, honestly. And Whoa, I didn't see this. I guess I didn't look at my other monitor either. YM selling off. So ES is the only one who's pretty much looking quite bullish right now, which is very interesting. They are not that correlated right now for some reason. You're seeing a big difference. YM really had a big sell-off. You can see like big sellers coming in after each other here and just driving YM prices down. Is YM looking for a gap close? Are we looking for the gap close in YM? Maybe. Maybe that's the case. Let's look at YM. We still gapped up, so there was no specific trade for me as well in the pre-market, as I already said, but yeah, looks like a good mean reversion setup there on YM. But yeah, ES, I'm still looking for upside. Some upside. If you have any questions in chat about trading or whatever you want about me, ask. There's no bad questions. If you have any questions about my TPO, my charts, whatever. I trade every day. I start 15 minutes before the market opens with my pre-market preparation. Every professional trader makes pre-market preparation. Even if you don't get trades on that specific day, it's good to do a pre-market preparation so you know what's very possible to happen, and then you can already take that into your next trading session and start planning ahead a little bit. But yeah, it's very important to know where to trade and where to engage. If you don't have that structure in place, you're initially just gambling. And that's why you make pre-market preparation, and then you want the pre-market preparation to line up with your strategy. I don't know what your strategy is, but these two have to line up. Very important. Very important. But if you have any questions, now's the perfect time to ask, because I think I'm starting to look to see if we're gonna end the stream here. I said 15 minutes ago or 16 minutes ago. I'm listening to marriage music right now. What is this? Maybe we'll listen to this song a little bit and then we'll start ending the stream. So no trades today. As I already said pre-market, I'm just here to be an educator. I'm also a coach, so if someone needs any help with their trading or is struggling with their journey, I'm happy to help. But no trading for me today. Trading is very boring. It shouldn't be entertaining. And that's the dilemma of streaming and trading. You should take a lot of trades to, I guess, be entertaining, and that's what most of the people do who stream. They trade for more entertainment purposes rather than actually showing off, great trading or discipline. Unfortunately, that's probably negative for the viewers, but the truth is that it's not entertaining to watch someone just look at the charts and not take trades. That's just the honest truth. So my plan is to try to make something else of this stream. Educate people who want education, help traders in need, get some guests in here, and do something interesting. But yeah, for sure. Now it's looking like the time has come. We're looking at the clock here, and yeah, the market is doing its thing, and it's time for me to leave. There's nothing to do. I don't really have anything to talk about right now. Don't have any guests lined up for today or this week yet. I might get someone on live, but I still have to think about that a little bit going further. But yeah, struggling above overnight highs here. Nothing to do. Before I leave, let me know if you have any questions before I turn off the stream. Now's the perfect time to ask. Or if you want some coaching, I can give it to you for free on stream, which is amazing and an amazing opportunity, I believe, for everyone watching. But otherwise, I'll start wrapping it up. Yeah, there's really nothing else to say. I'll still wait 1 minute. 1 minute in case there's something up, but otherwise, time to close the stream and enjoy the Mondays. Monday is usually one of those days where you don't know what the market is going to do and you kind of have to sit and find out. And yeah, I believe tomorrow is going to be a very good day, hopefully, and we'll have some more knowledge about what the market wants to do. Indeed. Okay, but hey, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for being on the stream. No trades today, unfortunately for you guys, but maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Let's see what the market gives us. You have to wait for an opportunity to take a trade. We are not going to create opportunities out of thin air. We are no magicians. Just let the market come to you and then take the easy kill once it presents the opportunity. That's how you should trade. Justle is out. Have a great Monday. I'll see you tomorrow, 15 minutes before the open. Bye, guys.